Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton with Big C. This is Charlton and Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C and them good old boys down south. We want to say bienvenidos to all of our listeners in Latin America, also across the pond in London, England, as well as Paris, France, and of course, our good old friends from Canada. You know we love you, Canada, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Big C, there's no one I love more than the good old boys down south in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and that's the United States of America. Today is a beautiful August the 24th, 2017. So many things happening in the wide world of sports, and I tell you, there's so much excitement about all the things happening, especially down in Las Vegas. Think about Las Vegas. Las Vegas has received the NFL's graces to get the Oakland Raiders to move to Las Vegas. I guess they call it Sin City. I have no idea why they call it Sin City. Big C, waiting for Big C to get on the line. But also, you know, they have the success with the Summer League, from the NBA Summer League. A lot of people had a good time following the Summer League down in Las Vegas. So that was also a good thing that they had going on. And so also the great thing about being in Las Vegas is so many people go there to get away. And also, Big C, as we get Big C on the line, one of the best things we can figure out about Las Vegas is that what happens in Vegas, Big C, from what I understand, it stays in Vegas, Big C. Would that make any sense to you, Big C?
Well, Charlton, I did in Vegas, and I'm still embarrassed about it.
Yeah, I understand.
I hope that nobody else has. And a lot of it was prior to the smartphone.
Yeah.
So no one was able to capture those videos.
Well, you and Donald Trump. I understand. But I want to tell you, there's so much happening. We're talking about the fight going on in Vegas. The Las Vegas also got the Oakland Raiders to move down there. They don't have I guess they don't have a lot of water lately, but they get their own water from someplace, Big C. But everybody's going to Vegas because it is the sexy city. And we'd have a few things that happened with the NFL, and I guess little protesting going on in New York City yesterday. Not really a protest, but just bringing some attention to what that Kaepernick situation was going on. But I do want to bring up something about the Augusta National Golf Course. You know, we talked about Billy Payne and how he really chastised Tiger Woods for having, I guess, what they call extramarital affairs. I guess in the South they call them friends, from what I understand. As if Billy Payne and nobody else has ever done that. Now, I want you to bring this up, and anyone can Google this right around the Masters last year. We were saying that Billy Payne probably wouldn't be around much longer because he has some skeletons in his closet. Isn't it ironic that he steps down from Augusta National Golf Course, Big C? Your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, the most troublesome thing about when you go out and berate somebody publicly is that people will start looking into you to see what validity you have to be an expert.
Yeah.
It's like, we analyze a lot of situations on this show.
Yeah.
I know I'm not a psychiatrist. I can't speak for you.
Yeah.
But, people have expertise in every field, every one. I think the magic of being a broadcaster, especially sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
And with us, we don't run off a script.
No.
Everybody else is running off a script.
Yeah.
Is that you're trying to evaluate and analyze someone's thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
And their personality. This is what we do for a living. And so many people, even with the Billy Payne, who went off script to play Donald Trump, to talk about Tiger Woods.
On Tiger Woods.
Now, he knew Tiger Woods on a professional level, but the thing about him, he didn't talk about Dustin Johnson being drunk, falling down the stairs, missing the Masters.
Nope.
That was off the radar.
Yeah.
The Tiger Woods event that happened almost a decade ago.
Yeah.
That was still fresh in his mind because the Masters is still butthurt because Tiger hasn't participated in the past few years, and their attendance has been way down.
Yeah.
And they haven't had that draw appeal for one sexy golfer that's going to attract people in.
No.
And so when Billy Payne went out there and blasted Tiger Woods for his incidents that did not occur at Augusta, I can imagine that Billy Payne has done some things at Augusta.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But to go out, and it's so ironic, is that in the world of broadcasting, sports broadcasting, and journalism, Charlton, is that they bring in the affairs of African-American athletes, not white athletes. And I always wonder, why is that? Why is it more interesting to bring up the social life of an African-American athlete than it is of a white athlete. And it even came out today, Charlton, yesterday.
Yeah.
That people were lambasting Floyd Mayweather. We're talking about Vegas.
Yeah.
About being in the strip club. Okay?
He owns it.
He owns the strip club.
Yeah.
That's one of his businesses. That is a safe haven for Floyd.
Yeah.
When Floyd is in the strip club, you know, he's protected by his bodyguard.
Yeah.
He's at ease, he's at comfort, he's being entertained, and he doesn't have to do anything, okay?
Yeah.
He is not expending energies. There's an old analogy that, you know, they always used to say, well, athletes have to save their legs. If
Yeah.
you can't do anything, you know, physically, and let me put this terminology out there, sexually before an event.
Yeah.
That is 100% wrong, Charlton. Because
thank you for breaking that news, Big C. You made all the athletes happy to hear that breaking story, Big C. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And an athlete performs better when his body is relaxed, when he has all lactic acids out of his muscles.
Yeah.
Where he can go out and perform at optimum level. So if that's what you do on a daily basis, that's what you do because it keeps you relaxed. You don't want to go into any sporting event all tensed up.
Being too tight.
You're not going to win.
Yeah.
You're not going to win.
Yeah.
And so by Floyd being in his haven, and where he spends all of his time, he hasn't fought in 2 years. That's his biggest hang-up. He hasn't fought in 2 years.
Yeah.
But being in the strip club, which is like an Italian, like Marciano going to his Italian restaurant,
yeah.
There's no difference.
No, that's no difference. And everybody knows Las Vegas. Everyone goes to Las Vegas just to get married, from what I understand. Big C, I do want to say this segment sponsored. This segment sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. And when you go by and test drive yours, tell them that Charlton and Big C sent you. So, but I did think that was kind of ironic where people want to bring up something about Mayweather. He's spending too much time in a nightclub. It's like, well, how would you know where he is if you're not there with him, Big C?
Yeah,
Somebody's... Yeah, somebody... Yeah, somebody's getting carte blanche at the strip club where Money Mayweather's showing up. But whatever happens in the world of boxing is people have to do what makes them relax. And I'm glad you brought that point up about, you know, Mayweather and people saying that he's in the strip clubs too much. The fact that he owns it. Haven't we always talked about on Big C Sports where the African-American athlete needs to own something? Here's a guy that owns something and people criticize him for owning something. Big C, your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, you know, no one criticizes other athletes for their professional entities that they're involved in outside their sports.
Yeah.
And when we look at athletes, they're so diverse in the various things that they want to be in. I mean, if you look at Mayweather's nickname, Money.
Yeah.
That's all a strip club does is make money.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's no wallflowers up in there.
That's
you gotta pay to get in, you gotta pay for the entertainment, you gotta pay for the food, you gotta pay for the drinks.
Yeah.
He's not giving out freebies in there.
No, not at all.
It's a business. You know, McDonald's is not coming up saying, hey, come get free burgers all day. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, he's like burgers. You can have it your way.
Have it your way.
Right?
You know, Big C, I do got to claim I'm a little bit naive because somebody said, Curry, let's go out to the club last time I was in Vegas, and they said they're going to make it rain. I'm like, making it rain? It's like 105 degrees out here. So I'm the only guy walking around with an umbrella going to the club, and I say, oh, that's what making it rain means, Big C. No one explained that to me before I went inside. Your thoughts, Big C?
Well, Charles, to make it rain in Vegas, you do need some green.
Yeah.
I look at this fight from so many spectrums, Charles.
Yeah.
You know, 92% of the money that's making it rain is on McGregor.
Yeah.
This is, you know, this is something in many ways that will either help or just boxing, Charles.
Yeah.
You think about this. Mayweather's almost in a no-win synopsis.
Yeah.
Because if this fight goes the distance, Dana White is going to be walking around on his chest talking about, I brought a guy off the street.
Yeah.
He never had a professional fight.
Yeah.
And he went distance with the best fighter in the world, pound for pound.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. And so all of those guys who have been fighting over the years and trying to move up
in a local bar,
ranks, you know, to get a championship bout, Charlton, they're going to say, hey, you guys are nothing anymore.
Yeah.
All the attention now will go to the MMA. The only hope that Mayweather has in this fight, Charlton, is to knock out McGregor. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. But I'm also thinking on another hand, Charlton, that McGregor is going to intentionally get disqualified in this fight.
Yeah.
I think he'll either get disqualified disqualified or will go the distance.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those two. That he's going to get, so antsy that he's going to throw too many elbows. He's going to kick unintentionally. He's going to do something to get him disqualified. He's going to take Mayweather down.
Yeah.
But he still wins in doing that, Charlton. Because the people that are betting that something like that will happen, you got to look at all those side bets that take place.
Yeah.
They take place in Vegas, but we know they take place in your garage.
Yeah, don't tell nobody, Big C.
I'm sorry about that, but, I thought we were partners.
I don't want my neighbors showing up expecting to see some side betting going on, if you know what I mean, Big C.
But, these are the things that I look at as far as this fight goes, Charlton. That this is a fight that's sanctioned, but it's not a fight that's good for boxing.
No.
Because you're taking a guy who's never had a professional boxing ring, even though he's well prepared, and if you square it off the octagon, it's basically the same size as a boxing ring.
Yeah.
You can take a couple of those corners out of it. But the tactics is all different. Both of these men are in tremendous condition.
Yeah.
McGregor is the more physical of the two because of the larger body frame.
Yeah.
And so these are the things that he has to his advantage that he's going to try to Mayweather with.
Yeah.
I see him trying to get him back into a corner.
Yeah.
I don't see Mayweather being very aggressive. I see McGregor coming forward the whole time because he's used to being kicked in the face, elbowed in the face, choked, all this stuff, spit on. He's used to that. Mayweather's not. And so that's an advantage for McGregor in this fight. When we look at the boxing purists, they have that same concern that I do, Charlton.
Yeah.
That the guy will go, as they say, off the reservation.
Yeah.
That's what McGregor's going to do.
Well, obviously, Big C, there's a lot of excitement going around Las Vegas. I'll be getting in there early this weekend, and obviously, what I like about Las Vegas is no matter what happens, this is not like back in the day when we saw some of the better fights where we had Tyson and Holyfield. And, back in the day, we would see Sugar Ray Leonard fight. A lot of great fighters have fought in Las Vegas. And like you said earlier, this is about boxing. I've seen guys box. I boxed when I was a little kid. Got hit upside the head too many times. I said, I'd rather speak for a living, Big C. But you just made a great point. There used to be a TV show called Pros versus Joes. And that's when you take the real guys and you put them on the playing field with guys who earn a living doing that. I remember Ali fought Alzado, and Alzado was trying to prove a point that he could knock Ali out. And then Ali started going upside Alzado's head a couple of times, the late Alzado when he played for the Broncos. And Ali said, look, I do this for a living. I mean, so Ali beat him up pretty good. But I see the same thing. It's an ego thing on McGregor's fight. The fight that McGregor has to fight is the talk in the game to sell tickets. Because to some people, Big C, they care more about the sideshow than the real fight. Big C, does that make any sense?
Well, Charles, this is a sideshow.
Yeah.
It's not a boxing match.
Yeah.
I mean, people have gone out and advertised it as a boxing match, but this is a sideshow.
Yeah.
That's all that this is. Let's put it this way. Who just won Wimbledon? Roger Federer?
Yeah.
Roger Federer just won Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the best ping pong player in the world and put him against Roger Federer, okay?
Yeah.
And see if this ping pong player can beat Roger Federer at Wimbledon. And
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen, Charles.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Remember?
These are two different styles.
Yeah.
Two different arenas that they play in. Two
Yeah.
different speeds and sizes on the ball.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking at. We're looking at a professional boxer against a professional grappler. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what we have. We have a professional grappler going out there to prove a point against a boxer. This is like taking somebody who was late in their career. And
Yeah.
Mayweather's there. He's late in his career.
Yeah.
Against somebody who's been boxing for the past 10 years and is up and coming. We witnessed that with Michael Spinks when he won a title.
Yeah.
We witnessed that with Leon Spinks when he won a title.
Yeah.
Young up and coming boxers who were hungry. Buster Douglas when he beat
Mike Tyson, yeah.
Also, Evander Holyfield when he beat Larry Holmes. These are up and coming, hungry young boxers.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what?
They had the skills.
Yeah. And
Not a guy that just showed up. So, okay, I can beat a boxer.
Yeah.
Which he can beat a boxer. Something it's like on a football field.
Any given Sunday.
Anybody can beat anybody.
Well,
the chances of them beating legitimately are way lower. And I look at it with the odds. 92% of the money has been put on McGregor in Las Vegas for this fight.
Yeah.
I look at him having an 8% chance of winning the fight, Charles.
Well, you know, it's almost like you made the point the other day, Big C. You make most of your money going against the current. You don't make a lot of money going in and put money on Mayweather because he's such a heavy favorite. And there was a gentleman that was working with Mike Tyson back in the day. Forgot his name, but he was saying how you got a fighter in there in McGregor. He's a fighter, a street fighter. But boxing is like a gentleman's sport. You got rules that you got to follow. You can't kick people. You can't headbutt people. You can't throw an elbow to the eye. So you take away the dirty guy's fight game and to put him in a ring where boxing is an elegant, that's kind of an oxymoron to say boxing is elegant, but it is versus MMA. And you have a guy, Big C, 49-0. He hasn't lost a fight since the Olympics back in '96. That was down there in Georgia, where Ali actually lit the torch for that Olympics of all things. And then you have McGregor 21-3. I think he's really 20-4. And I thought Diaz beat him twice. I'd have stopped him. But you see right now, McGregor's the hype. He's the great white hype. There's nothing wrong with that because Dana White's a brilliant man. Any man who can make $4 billion before he's 40 years old is pretty brilliant in my book, Big C. So congratulations. I think Dana White's going to be the one that wins that fight overall on Saturday night. But I do want to say, Big C, that sports is a $1 billion industry, and boys and girls sports is the foundation to this $1 billion industry. And for every sporting event, you need athletic and event insurance. We work with Ben and Mark. They've been around half a century. They work with Big C Sports, whether you're a pro athlete, a college athlete, your high school, even mom and pop soccer leagues. Reach out to them and let them know that Big C sent you. And Big C, just to diverge a little bit from the world of the fighting game, I just want to get this thought because it goes into lineage. Outside of the fight, there's this thing called records that will set your legacy. We know that Tiger Woods trying to get the Jack's record. Something happened with the Jack and having his Escalade broken out, his window broken out, and then all the sex scandals that came up. He's the only one that ever had sex, from what I understand, down in Augusta, Georgia, Big C, based on Billy Payne, who obviously is missing, and you predicted Billy Payne would be gone once people started digging into his background, okay? Now, 49-0, what does it mean for money to get to 50-0 for legacy-wise boxing? We could talk about Ali being the greatest. We could talk about Mike Tyson. People go back into the days, Sonny Liston, Marciano. Can anyone say that 49-0 is not bad, but 50-0 is greater? But he has to be the wealthiest fighter in the history of the world, Big C. Your thoughts?
Everybody's going to come up with this asterisk.
Yeah.
That he didn't fight a boxer, okay? It's going to be like with Barry Bonds. Well, you know, we don't know if he was clean or not, hitting 73 home runs.
Yeah.
So we still like Maris having the record. You know, even with Hank Aaron with the all-time home run, there's always going to be somebody who questions the validity of what somebody else do. Whether it's through jealousy, Charles, or whether it's through legitimacy. Jealousy comes up in this behalf because the white world has always held Marciano the same. Yeah. Because he was 49-0 undefeated, even though he defeated a lot of elderly boxers in their 40s. Yeah. So there should be an asterisk on his record. Yeah. He wasn't fighting, young men like himself. He was fighting old men. Guys with gray hair like me. Yeah. That's when he was fighting to win titles. Yeah. They were taking him almost the distance. Yeah. So, when we look at this Mayweather scenario, like I said, there will be a time that he gets to 50-0. People will say he didn't win it against a boxer. Oh, he'll win it at the bank. He's winning at the bank. Yeah. He's talking about all these columnists and all these sports writers and broadcasters. Well, he didn't win against a boxer. He fought against a guy that they brought out of the garage. Was working on cars last week. Yeah. That's what they're going to say. There will be something to tarnish Mayweather's legacy. Either way this fight goes, Charles. Yeah. Like I said, he can't win in this fight other than money. Yeah. That's all he's getting out of this fight. He's not getting a legacy. Yeah. He's not getting a title. He's not setting history because all he's making on this fight is money because people will come back and say, well, a boxer to break the record. Oh, he didn't do that. That's a very good point. The guy that came off the street. Yeah. So this record has to have an asset behind it. Yeah. Or if he loses the fight, Charles, by some ungodly reason, because he wasn't that good. Well, this is a no-win other than financially for Floyd Money Mayweather, Charles. Well, Big C, that's a very good point. I do want to get your opinion about something that happened. I know we talk about Colin Kaepernick and what happened in New York City, the support from the NAACP, which was also started by Jewish Americans. A lot of people think it started by African Americans. It was started by Jewish Americans back in 1909 to help end inequality. The Justice League of New York City was there. The National Action Network was there. Criminal justice reform is really what they're talking about, whether or not he gets to be on the team or not. I think the NFL, they
they can still score a touchdown if they will try to get behind this push for criminal justice reform the same way they get behind this push for no battering women, no beating up women. They've already, in this cancer thing, they want to have Cancer Awareness Month where everyone has a pink ribbon. I think they can really score a lot in the whole United States if they push themselves to support where 70% of their money comes from. And for most people, I understand, when 70% of your money comes from any geographic group, Big C, you tend to find out what's important to that group, and you try to put something behind it. But I want to bring up this point for everybody listening. Up in the state of Washington, okay, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, they declined Joe Kennedy's request to coach high school football as an assistant coach because he was praying after football games at Bremerton High School in Washington. Now think about this, Big C. Reggie White back in the day and a lot of NFL players used to get together at midfield and they would pray. Remember back in the day, they'd all pray for whatever they were praying for, whether it's praying to God or praying for a win. They all prayed, and the NFL would actually show that on TV. So Colin Kaepernick takes a knee where he could be praying also. He gets ostracized, but there's a coach that's not allowed to participate because he did pray. So is praying less important than standing for the flag? Big C, your thoughts?
Well, Charlton, we can extend this any kind of way we want. We can spend this religiously, we can spend this disrespectfully, or whatever. But the main crux of this is if Colin Kaepernick never takes a snap in the NFL again, what he has proven that ownership in the NFL is racist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's proven that his fan is racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what Colin Kaepernick proved. Because that's the outcry.
Yeah.
It's not the outcry for what Colin Kaepernick did.
Yeah.
It's the outcry that a black man did it.
Yeah.
And when this black man did it, Charlton, they lost control.
Yeah.
That's what the NFL does not want. They did not appreciate.
Yeah.
Even the commissioner came out today and said, well, the decision whether Colin Kaepernick plays in the NFL is up to the 32 owners.
Yeah.
He has nothing to do with it. His hands are tied. But he can suspend the guy for life.
Yeah.
He can suspend the guy for a year. He can suspend the guy for 4 games, 8 games, whatever. But he can't have where the owner plays, hires a player, which it really contradicts what he does when he suspends players, Charlton.
Yeah.
And allows them back into the league. So it's a contradiction in what he said.
Yep.
But Colin Kaepernick, the thing that America's mad about and the thing that the owners are mad about is that he showed the face of racism in the NFL.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they want to be quiet. It's just like now when coaches come to the podium and saying that, well, we respect the players' rights. As a team,
Yeah.
this is what we expect.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you respect their rights, then don't say as a team this is what you expect.
Yep.
Because you own them, that they don't have the right to go out and take a stance against whatever they want to do at work.
Well, you know what, something?
When we look at workplaces in America,
Yeah.
you know, if you go out in the workplace and you do something and you have an employer come in and object to that, you have the right to sue.
Yep.
But as a player in the NFL, you can't do that, Charles.
Well, Big C, you made a very strong point, a very salient point. I want to bring this up. Number one, I want to pay homage to your knowledge because anyone can Google. On the Big C Sports Show, we were doing this last year when Colin Kaepernick took a knee. And we always said it was never about disrespecting the military. Mainstream media came out and said, oh, he's disrespecting the military. He's against the U.S. troops. We never said that, and he never said that. And we're the only sports show out there in the universe. I understand, but we're the only ones in the universe of sports that never said it was about the troops. Now everybody's saying, well, maybe it wasn't about the troops. Maybe it was about Black Lives Matter, but he could have gone about it a different way. Now, they got to admit they all lied and they slandered this young man, and now they're showing that he was right all along, that there's a bias there, and they were part of that bias, Big C. That make any sense to you?
It makes perfect sense, Charles. Everybody wants to be the first with the negative story.
Yeah.
And that's what sells the print. That's what gets your ratings up on the dial.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick stated what this was about when he took a knee.
Yeah.
He said this was for social equality. I want to bring a point to social equality.
Yeah.
I'm not against anybody other than social equality and justice in the judicial system. That's what my stance is about. He made that statement, Charlton, on the mic, on the camera. But what he said on the mic and on the camera, Charlton, to the media was a lie. Well, let's change what he said and put our spin on it.
Yep.
From a white perspective, we got to put our spin on it from a white perspective.
Yeah.
Not from a black perspective, because I don't understand what black people go through.
Yep.
This is what white media can say every day of the week.
Well,
I don't understand what black people go through. So I'm going to put it on from my perspective, what I thought he did. And
yeah.
that's what they said. This is what we think that he stands for, and this is what he means. But they never said these were Colin Kaepernick words. They said this is what we think.
Yeah.
And because white media said this is what we think, they sold that to the white public.
Well, Big C.
And the white public came mad. It's like the president tell you that Charlottesville, that the Nazis were great people.
Yeah, and that's a joke. And then he went to Arizona and had some more racist comments supporting a guy who's in jail for racism and discrimination. But I just want to bring up the thought that I hear just a little bit of rumbling. Sometimes we hear rumblings, and sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But as a gambling man, and I know you don't gamble, Big C. I'm not talking to Charles Barkley, but anyone that gambles. I just want to know where Floyd Money Mayweather's club is when I go to Las Vegas. I hear that people enjoy those things where it rains inside the buildings. But I want to bring up this point, and maybe it will, maybe it won't happen. But Roger Goodell's going up for a pay raise, for last I understood, trying to get the contract extension. If 70% of your league says if you don't do something major to support the cause of black people in this country, when you have the number one sport in the world, at least in the United States, outside of soccer worldwide, but NFL-wise, it's the number one thing in the United States. Here's a man that has 70% of his base. You know how Trump is always, I guess, stomping for his base, that 10% of people that like him. If Roger Goodell wants to support 70% of his base, he can make some kind of statement, irrespective of Kaepernick, but about justice reform, the same way they stand up for let's end cancer, the same way they stand up for let's stop battery among women. He can support 70% of his base unless those knuckleheads, that 70%, are so disenfranchised that they won't protest week one. If the NFL's black players did not play in week one, and I know it takes balls to do it, like Dr. Martin Luther King had guts, then that'd be $1 billion lost for the NFL. Do you think they would find more compassion for the cause of the black men? Big C, your thoughts?
Let me give you a quote of Dennis Bryant, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys last week.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not in that. He said, I got a family to feed. I'm not taking a stance, and I'm not saying anything. Who is the most interviewed person on the Dallas Cowboys, Charles?
I think it's Mr. Jones, Big C.
Barry Jones.
Yeah.
Who is their head coach?
I think it's Mr. Jones, Big C, from what I've seen on the sideline. Yeah.
You know who is the most interviewed person on the most influential franchise in the NFL, okay?
Yeah.
More than any player, more than any coach.
Yeah.
All right? It's the same guy that's barking at Roger Goodell's in.
Yeah.
This is how powerful I am.
Yeah.
What if I don't have the Dallas Cowboys go on the field this week?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
What is that going to do to you and your legacy and your opportunity to keep a job? I'm not worried about the players striking. I can get rid of those and replace those, okay?
Yeah.
I can silence everybody on my team. That's why I give the press conferences.
Yeah.
I don't have a spokesperson. I don't even have a head coach.
Yeah.
I handle everything. Okay?
Yeah.
This is where the ownership of the NFL is. Roger Goodell is a great financier for the NFL because he's a tremendous negotiator.
Yeah.
And he has made them a copious amount of money in his tenure since he's been in charge of the league. He will get a job extension, Charlton. He will get a contract extension. Don't think that he won't because he makes money for the guys who want money.
You know what?
They pay players. They don't wince when they write a check, Charlton.
Yep.
They're not concerned about a handful of players. They're not concerned about 200 players in the NFL because they own 1,700. They own 1,700 players, Charlton. They're not concerned about 200, okay? 200 can be replaced.
That's a very good point. You know, ironically, and then we'll touch on one more subject, you have someone with the power of Jerry Jones who said he was drunk when he made a phone call to buy the Dallas Cowboys. A drunk white guy can buy an NFL franchise, and you have groups of black men and men of color that can't even get a bid in. But I just think that's a truism, but it's also a sad story. But here's Jerry Jones, who has a lot of power in the league, and a lot of people respect him. He has more fight in him to defend men who are accused of battering women. You know, the NFL Let's Not Batter Women League, the No Fight Women League. He has more fight in him to defend men who battered women than he does to defend a whole group of culture of black men that are still dealing with the need for justice reform around the country, Big C.
He's from the South. He's from Arkansas, okay?
Yeah.
He grew up in Jim Crow. When he went to college, there wasn't one black player on the University of Arkansas team. He had no black teammates. He had no black teammates in high school. Jerry Jones didn't deal with black people until he bought the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
That was his first interaction with black people.
But isn't that a shame that he's that?
But they work for him.
Yeah.
They're not on an equal level.
Yeah.
There's nobody sitting there in the front office that's black in Dallas. They're all out there on the practice field.
Well, remember back in the day, Big C, Dean Smith, the late Dean Smith, the college basketball icon for North Carolina, and taking his team to travel to different cities to play basketball. And there were some hotels that said white only. Okay, you know, the land of the free, the home of the brave, where all men are created equal, that country. White people only. Black drinking fountains, white drinking fountains. And the land of the free, the home of the brave, where if you stand up against that, they're going to ostracize you from the league. Denny Green, I mean, he would not let his players stay if all of them couldn't stay. And that's why a lot of people like going to North Carolina, because of what Dean Smith did. At least he has some backbone in him. He didn't have to do that for his young black players, but he did. You're telling me there's no NFL owners that have the decency that he had, Big C, back in the day?
Charlton, they don't. You know, you look at the quarterback quadrant in the NFL right now, Charlton. There's a couple of teams right now with quarterback battles. Chicago, they drafted this kid Trubisky. They signed the kid Glennon, who hadn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
They're in a quarterback battle. Neither one of them can get the job done. Look at Jacksonville with Bortles and Henning.
Yeah.
Henning is in his NFL career, Charlton, as a starter.
Yeah.
He's 5-17. Think about that.
That's what they want.
He's 5-17 as a
Yeah.
NFL.
Yeah.
He's been around for 8 years.
Yeah.
And he's 5-7. Blake Bortles, since he's been in the NFL, Charlton, has led the league in turnovers since he was drafted #1 and going into his 5th season.
Yeah.
Has led the league in turnovers.
Yeah.
You know, none of these guys have any of the portfolio of a Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
But everybody is saying that they're all better than a Colin Kaepernick. I look at it from this perspective, Charlton.
Yeah.
Everyone says he'll bring too much distraction to the locker room.
No, he won't.
Who controls the damn locker room? I mean, we have people in locker rooms around the NFL that's been convicted of manslaughter.
Yep.
That's been convicted of rape.
That's acceptable.
Convicted of spousal abuse.
That's acceptable.
Are they a distraction in the locker room?
No, that's acceptable behavior.
We have coaches that have had DUIs. Are they a distraction in the locker room?
Nope, that's acceptable.
You know,
Yeah.
We have owners
Yeah.
that have been convicted with OxyContin and DUI.
Yeah.
Are they a distraction to the team? No, Charlton. But a guy who hasn't done anything criminal is going to be a distraction to him.
Big C, the last statement here we have tonight in the NFL. Philadelphia, they're at home versus Miami, and then Carolina, they're at Jacksonville. I know it's preseason, Big C. Carson Wentz is one thing, and then you have Cutler going against those two guys. I mean, I don't know if you can call them both quarterbacks or not, at least NFL quality. And then you have Carolina. I don't know if Newton's going to play or not, and you got Bortles down in Jacksonville. Just your thoughts on the last 30 seconds on the NFL games tonight, Big C.
Well, Charlton, when you look at these games tonight, you're going to get some veterans in place to support it, because this is next to the last preseason game that's going to be played.
Yeah.
And so the cuts are going to be coming in another week.
Yeah.
Cam Newton will get some time in Carolina tonight, Charlton. Those two quarterbacks in Jacksonville, that's a farce.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the NFL has to be realistic.
Yeah.
Even the broadcasters that are doing the games who don't want to speak in behalf of Colin Kaepernick, you got to say, this is the best you can do.
Yeah.
This is worth $10-12 million a year.
Now that's a distraction. That's the real distraction, Big C.
A guy who can't hit an open receiver. In practice, it looks like they're in the
That's funny, Big C.
They get in a game, they look like they're in the toilet bowl.
Well,
and that's the reality. That's
yeah.
what they look like crap.
Big C, maybe they should spend more time down in Las Vegas at Floyd Money Mayweather strip club watching it rain on the inside so they can have a little bit more relaxation. Big C, back in the day, there was a man by the name of Drew Bondini Brown. He was Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He had a slogan called Rumble, Young Man Rumble. Big C, what are you looking forward to in the sports universe?
Well, Charlton, I'm looking for this week to be over. I'm tired of this fiasco that's going on in Vegas.
Yeah.
How much time do we have for this going on?
Yeah.
Baseball, Giancarlo, hit his 47th home run today.
Yeah.
I mean, he's chasing this 60. I mean, Stanton is just,
Yeah.
Lights on fire, Charlton. But, the biggest news of the day was this brawl that they had in Detroit, with the Tigers and the Yankees. I mean, they had 3 consecutive innings where batters were hit intensely.
Wow.
3 different balls that broke out. This is where Manfred has to come out and say, okay, we're going to suspend some people.
Yeah.
This is about being in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
This is about players' lives because one player was hit in the head, Charlton, with one of those pitches. So baseball is going to have to clean up his act. Used to be a gentleman's game.
Yeah.
It's going more of a thug show mentality now, Charlton.
Well, Big C, I appreciate your comments, and I really want to just say to the sports universe, you were right about Billy Payne wouldn't be around for the next major when he tried to slam Tiger Woods. We talked about the McGregor and Money Mayweather fight coming up in Las Vegas. I think a lot of people are letting it rain. In the NFL, shame on you. You defend guys who have a criminal record, and you won't stand up for a guy who exercises his right for freedom of expression in the land of the free and the home of the brave. But every Monday through Friday at 5 and 6 p.m. worldwide, follow Big C Sports on the Big C Sports Network, the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Big C and the good old boys down south. We always tell you, there's never, ever any excuse for domestic violence. If you know any woman going through that garbage, please call 911 so she won't have to deal with it on her own. And as we always tell you on every Big C Sports show, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we hope that you have a super fantastic day.